My lungs hurt. I don't know how well you can see that. Probably not very well. But that is an allergic reaction, even though I've taken my antihistamines. And my lungs hurt, so interesting situation. So the shoulder pain I talked about in my chronic illness at university video that I said went away, well that's come back. I learnt my lesson about saying something's gone away. So I was rubbing Voltaren gel on my back with my hand and it was cold. So I have tiny hives, like tiny, because I have taken my meds. But I shouldn't be having any, so there's hives there. There's a couple, they are teeny tiny, but very itchy hives on my back. And I'm wheezing. That's never happened like that before, so I'm trying to find my inhaler. And my lungs hurt. So this is not good. It's all going so well. I'm still wheezy. Stop this. I'm still wheezy. You can't hear it. I tried. Wow, my brain just goes. It's not the actual wheezing that is the problem. I mean, obviously wheezing isn't good, but my lungs really hurt. My hand is super itchy. My back is super itchy. And this is starting to kick in good. It's tiring and it's painful. Before anyone says, well, you should have had a jumper on, I had to put the gel on without a jumper on because it had to go on my skin. There's not much I could have done about that. Awesome. This is a good day. That's finally under control, and I am eating my words a little bit. I may have been heard or seen talking about how magic fexofenadine is. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's good. That little episode has reminded me that antihistamines are not in fact magic, and it's reminded me to not get cocky with my cold urticaria. Don't get me wrong, I stand by everything else I said about fexofenadine. It is very good. It has changed my life, and it has given me back so much of my life that I didn't even know I was missing. So I can now shower without being itchy afterwards, and I'm not allergic to my own tears. Those are my highlights, because I've talked about them a lot. I'm very excited about this. And my face doesn't hurt as much as it used to. It still does if I go out in the cold and I stay there for ages, or if I'm around air conditioning at all, ever. It's good. It's not like a constant face ache from even like 5 seconds of cold. But they aren't magic, and I wish they were. I took them this morning, as I am supposed to do. I took it with my breakfast, and I took them with water, because they advise not to take it with grapefruit juice, the big one, orange juice or apple juice, because they use the same enzyme to metabolize them. That's the nerdy stuff. Yet I still, upon some exposure to cold, had some hives. And I appreciate that they were incredibly tiny, and it probably looks like I'm making a big deal out of it. Let me just explain this one. They are marketed at people who get allergic hives or allergic urticaria. And you think by taking that, it gets rid of them all, so I shouldn't be having any hives at all. But here I am, taking my medication properly, and still having some hives. It's not an aesthetic thing, I don't really care about that. And the fact that they are now so much smaller than they used to be, so this time around it was literally a couple of tiny red dots. It didn't look like much, but the me of the past would have been covered head to toe in massive welts. So to have it reduced so drastically is huge, and I really shouldn't be complaining about it. But I wouldn't be if it didn't come with the itch from hell. This itch goes all the way down to the bone. It is impossible to scratch, and it's not just limited to the area where the hive is. It was my entire hand, and it was my entire shoulder, and up here, all of my back, everywhere that the cold gel had touched was so itchy, and it's that itch that I really have the problem with. And then with the fibro, I have increased sensitivity to pain, so scratching that causes so much pain on top of the itch and the uncomfortableness of cold urticaria. And of course I was wheezing. And I mentioned that it doesn't usually happen that I wheeze when I experience cold somewhere else. So that is an interesting one. I'm going to bring that up when I finally get this allergist appointment, and I'm probably going to go back to my doctor and be like, this is weird, so maybe my CU is just getting worse. Antihistamines are not magic. I've talked about this a lot with the mask, when people say, well, if you take antihistamines, surely you don't need to wear the mask. They aren't magic. They reduce the symptoms and they make them more manageable. This is why I still do get the occasional outbreak of hives, and I still have to wear the mask pretty much every time I go outside, because even though I take these antihistamines, I am still allergic to cold. I mentioned a couple of videos ago, I talked about the pharmacology of antihistamines, specifically fexofenadine. I'll link that in the card above. So it only blocks the histamine receptors, so my immune cells are still recognising cold exposure and they are still releasing all of the things, just my body isn't using it. So sometimes a little bit of that gets to a receptor and out comes my rash and out comes my wheezing. So even if the antihistamines mask 100% of the symptoms, I am still allergic to cold. So I shouldn't be shocked when I have an allergic reaction. And as much as I do talk them up, and they are amazing and I'm going to keep taking them, this isn't a loss. This is just a reminder that I'm still allergic. Don't expect them to be magic, and that is partly my fault for only talking about the positives. Whoops. But yeah, still allergic, and always be careful. You have to always take the precautions still, so I still shouldn't eat ice cream. I still have to wear the mask outside. So I always need to be mindful of any allergies, and I need to be mindful of my cold allergy because I am still allergic, just less itchy. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment in if you have any questions, share with your friends as a reminder that antihistamines are not magic and you are still allergic even with them. If you liked this video and other videos in this vlogging cold urticaria series, subscribe to my channel because there are more all the time. And then when you subscribe, ring the bell and get notified every time I post.